Hello everyone, this is Kring Talladen. Welcome to this Book Talks video. By the time this video is finalized and uploaded, it's almost already the end of January. But since it's still the first month of 2022, and since this is my first vlog for the year, I'd like to greet everyone a happy New Year. And for this video, I would like to share the books that I read in 2021. And I know this kind of vlog is already a bit late, so to speak, but I still want to do this before I dive into more reading for 2022. This month, I already finished some books, but I'll share that in a separate vlog. But since this is part of the book talk series in my channel, I would like to still give you some tips and, lessons that I learned from my 10-year experience in the publishing industry as a writer and editor. And so before I share with you the books that I read in 2021, I also would like to give this very important lesson, and that lesson is this: in order for you to write more and write well, you also have to read more and read well. For example, if you have a writing goal this year, then make sure that you also read on the kind of material that you want to write about. But of course, if you're also open to different genres, then go ahead. But again, this tip, please remember that in order for you to write more and write well, you also have to read more and read well. I'd like to quote the very famous Filipina journalist, Julie Y. Daza. She said, "Beginners, amateurs, and professionals, there is no other way. To write, you have to read." Alright, and that has also been helpful for me as a writer, especially when I published my poetry collection, Parts and Personifications, 40 Poems of Letting Go. I really read a lot of poetry, so I would gain more inspiration, and also so that I would also have an idea how I want my book to look like. So I signed my book myself. For those who still want to get a copy of this book, it's available on my Shopee store. Just go to shopee.ph/Kringtalladen. It's available there. And the ebook version is also available at feastbooks.ph. I will link everything in the description box. So without further ado, let me share with you the books that I read in 2021. So the order is not based on when I read them, but per category. The first book that I want to share is actually an ebook. It's Jesus Over Everything by Andy Harrison. This is the only ebook that I was able to finish reading last year. I bought this on Amazon in late 2020, but I only finished reading last year, and I read it through the Kindle app on my phone. This is also the first book that I finished reading in January of last year, and I feel like being grounded on Jesus and faith through this book was perfect for the start of the year. So the next book in this category that I want to share is this book, How to Overcome Financial Stress, Make More Money to Be Debt-Free by JPaul Hernandez. This is published by Kring Books, now called Feast Books. And this is again very much connected to one of my words last year, which is thriftiness. And this book reminded me about, of course, working more on my financial health. And I got this book in 2018, but I only finished reading last year. And it's even signed by the author. He said, "Kring, I'm so proud of what you are becoming, more to come." Thank you so much, JPaul Hernandez. From this book, I was able to come up with a financial motto, and I wrote it in a post-it right here. It says, "Debt-free is stress-free and saving saves." Yes! So thank you so much, JPaul Hernandez, for all the things I learned from this book. By the way, I'll be placing the links where you can buy these books in the description box. Okay? Alright. The next book that I finished reading from the inspirational self-help and nonfiction genre is this: God, Why Does It Hurt? How to Heal Your Life's Deepest Pains and Move Forward by Catholic lay preacher Sanchez. Again, this is published by Feast Books, and this is how it looks like at the back. Alright, so this book was published in 2020, but I only finished reading in 2021. And like any other Sanchez book, this is very inspirational, and I was reminded of how our hurts can lead to healing and how our healing can turn to our ministry. It's right here. The best healers are wounded healers. Our scars remind us where we got healed. And because we experience healing, we can help other wounded people experience it too. In your scars is a ministry waiting to be born. And here's the big reward: by healing others, you heal yourself more. Alright? So again, if you want this book, I'll place a link on the description box where you can buy this. Right? The next book that I finished reading last year from this genre is Growing in Gratitude, Rediscovering the Joy of a Thankful Heart by Mary Kay Mohler. I hope I pronounced that right. And this is one of the books sent by CSM Publishing, and I actually wrote a full review about it. Just go to kringtalladen.com. Alright, and yeah, I'm more of the highlighter person, so as you can see there are many highlights of the things that struck me, but I still used some book tags because these book tags were given to me as gifts from a dear friend. So this is Growing in Gratitude, and let me share that side by side with another book sent to me by CSM as well. This is If Only, Finding Joyful Contentment in the Face of Lack and Longing by Jennie Pollock. And again, I wrote a full review of this book on my website. Just go to kringtalladen.com. So both these books, Growing in Gratitude and If Only, reminded me that no matter what the circumstances are, God is still good. He is still in control, and those reasons are more than enough to trust and be thankful. Right? So thank you so much, CSM Publishing, for sending these books to me. Just a disclaimer, this is not sponsored. I really just want to thank them for sending me these. Alright? Under the inspirational self-help and nonfiction category, let me introduce to you the devotionals that I used last year. And I've been using these devotionals for a relatively long time now. And these are the Feast Books devotionals. Let me start with the Companion Set 2021. This is a Catholic scripture diary. And yeah, it has 4 booklets because it covers the whole year. Oh, sorry, this is the first one. So yeah, January until December. So what's special about this, the companion devotional, is that it has the mass readings for the day. That's why it has 4 booklets to cover the whole year of mass readings. And it's also like a diary where you can write your reflections. So as you can see, there are some doodles by me. Alright, so the next one here is Didache. Again, part of my daily devotionals last year. But I use Didache more than Gabay because Gabay is the Filipino version of Didache. And I only used Gabay in August for Buwan ng Wika. Alright, so but for Didache, I've been reading this since 2012. And the reflections here are written by common people like you and me. And the reflections never fail to give me the message and inspiration that I exactly need for a particular day. I've been so blessed because I was given the chance and the opportunity to write some reflections here since I don't know anymore what year I started. But yeah, I contributed some reflections for this devotional. So if you've also been reading this devotional, then thank you so much. And I hope that your 2021 was blessed by this. And on to 2022 with the 2022 version of this devotional. All right, so Didache, Daily Bible Reflections for Catholics, and the Tagalog version, which is Gabay. All right, so I consider this one book, one set. Last but not the least in my list of devotionals last year is Sabbath 2021, Scripture Meditations for Daily Life. The main difference of this devotional with Didache is that the reflections were written by priests. So I got a deeper dive into the Word of God. So these devotionals are from feast books. So yay. So of course, it's already 2022. I'll show the 2022 versions of the book in another vlog. Right. Off to the next book, we have Sugod Mga Malandi. Tayo ay magsama-sama. The Talladen Chronicles by Dani Hernandez. This is actually book 2 of a series. So it's the Talladen Chronicles. I read book 1, which is entitled Ang Maglandi Ay Di Biro. So this is book 2. I got this in 2019, assigned here by Dani. But I only finished reading last year. And if you're familiar with Dani, she's actually the artist behind my book. Again, let me plug my book. There you go. So aside from being an artist, Dani is also a published author. She's also an author of many books. And one of them is this entertaining self-help book, Unlove. The interesting title matches its interesting and entertaining content. Aside from being a witty and funny self-help book on dating and relationships, I also like the format of this book because you can feel that it's well-researched, like a research paper or textbook. My favorite part here is this actually. A very creative narration of the love life of Jose Rizal, our national hero. So here's a glimpse of that. And I also love the theory of the jigsaw puzzle hearts. And it's very much connected to my belief that there's a part of our hearts that can only be filled by certain people. And one of them is God, of course. Overall, this book is super entertaining, and it's also super nice to read about people's different perspectives and experiences when it comes to dating, paglalandi, and love. Alright. Yay, that's... by the way, this book is by Unlove Publishing, so yay. Another book that I finished reading last year was this book. It's Unlove, Heal Yourself from Toxic Romance and Love in a Healthy Way by Marjorie Duterte. And this is published by Feast Books. This is the back. Alright, and this book is really an enlightening one because it really gives you, it really defines, what love truly is, and it's inspired by this set of Bible verses. If you're Christian, this is very like a famous set of verses about love. So there you go. And one of my favorite quotes in the book is this: it's easier to know how to love better when you know what love is not. Amen. Right? And also what I love about this book is that every chapter ends. For example, this is chapter 1, right? So inspired by a Bible verse. And then it ends with the set of sections. So love, healthy, pearls of truth, and a prayer. You get to pause and reflect on what you read per chapter. So yay. Unlove by Marjorie Duterte. Right. Next one is again by Brother Bo Sanchez. Find your surrendered place, how to have inner peace amidst life storms and overwhelming stress. And this is very much apt for what happened since 2020 when the pandemic started, because Catholic lay preacher Bo Sanchez here described his experience with COVID-19, and he shared here the different lessons he learned as he went through that journey. And again, I highlighted a lot of parts that I really love. And you know, this book very much helped me last year to really surrender all my grief to God, because just a bit of a sharing, last year my grandmother from the mother's side passed away. It was really painful because she was far away. She's in the US. When this book was published last year also, it was very timely, and it really helped me surrender all my worries and anxieties about death to God. So thank you so much for this book. Again, this is by Feast Books. So there you go. Okay. Find Your Surrendered Place by Bo Sanchez. Alright. Next, from the set, I read a lot of books. Oh my gosh. Next one is this one, Real Men Revelations, Speaking the Truth in Love to Women by Marian Mencias. And this is a very interesting book because she interviewed different men and they shared different love advices. Here is the back. And of course, I had it signed by Marian, and I also got this bookmark from her. Thank you so much. And yeah, we have here her interviews with Bo Sanchez, Doug Kramer, the men behind Boiling Waters. This is very interesting. Anthony Pangilinan, JPaul Hernandez, Belden Lim, and Audie Villaraza. So, yeah, this is very helpful to women. And I think, yeah, it will still be very helpful to men as well if you really want to dive deep into how it is to be in a godly relationship. Alright? So, Real Men Revelations by Marian Mencias. Yes. I think this would be the last book for the inspirational self-help and nonfiction genre. Born to Fly, What Every Aspiring Flight Attendant Needs to Know to Soar in Confidence by Vitna Akur. This book is really nice because even if I'm not a flight attendant or an aspirant, I really found this book very inspiring, and it gave me that push to really live my dreams no matter what. Because wow, I realized that really being a flight attendant requires a lot of hard work, and I salute flight attendants because of that. Aside from Vitna's stories, life lessons related to being a flight attendant, she also she also featured the stories of other flight attendants at the back part of this book. So it's really nice to know their different stories. You know, some of them really pushed hard to become a flight attendant. Some tried but accepted that it might not be for them, something like that. So this book is really inspiring. So especially if you're an aspiring flight attendant, then I recommend that you buy this book. So that would be for the inspirational self-help nonfiction category. That was a lot. Alright, let's now move on to fiction. Of course, I love reading fiction as well. For the fiction category, I finished reading Eleanor in Park by Rainbow Rowell last year. And I bought this from a friend. That's why it's like this already. So, but it's okay. At least I can still read the text. That's the most important thing. The story is really good. I love young adult fiction. And although the story is filled with hurtful scenes that crush my heart, it still has a hopeful ending. Sorry, spoiler alert for those who haven't read this. But yeah, if you like YA novels and you haven't read this yet, I really recommend this. And it also has a little Korean culture aspect since the male lead character, Park, Park is half Korean in this story. So his character actually made me think of, Cha Eun-woo or those amazing young lead actors in K-dramas. So, yay! Eleanor Park. Next one is After Breakup by Lee Miyake. This is a Taglish novel, and I also love this. It's like a travelogue because the main character, Reese, alright, traveled to different parts of the Philippines after her breakup with her fiance. Alright, that's the most hurtful thing that can happen. Like when you're about to get married and then the relationship didn't work out. That's really painful. So there you go. I love the story. So if you're into Taglish novels, I recommend that you get this one, After a Breakup by Lee Miyake. I love the storytelling. Great read last year, 2021. And the third fiction book that I finished reading last year is this, Fairy Tale Fail by Mina V.S. Guerra. And of course, she signed it for me, and I got this bookmark also. And it's nice to know that this was her first self-published title. And it also won the 2012 Filipino Reader's Choice Award for Chicklit. So, you know, I've been wanting to read a Mina Esguerra novel even before 2021, but I don't know why I didn't get a copy. But eventually I decided to get two of her books. I already started reading the other book this January, but I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, this is the first Mina V.S. Guerra book that I finished reading last year, and I really enjoyed it. It says here, Ellie Manuel is a hopeless romantic stuck in a cubicle all day. She's in her 20s and should be having more fun. But instead of doing what she really wants, like traveling wherever her Philippine passport can take her, she's hung up on the guy who dumped her for not being ambitious enough. Ouch! Someone should tell her that there are other cool guys who probably even eat at the same office cafeteria, who would encourage her just to be her fabulous self. The first thing that really caught me was this synopsis, the back cover text, which is also posted online. So I decided to get this book first. And yeah, I didn't regret getting, because I really enjoyed reading it. It really spoke a lot about abandoning your fairy tale view of a relationship and really be realistic and, you know, embracing your true self and all that. And I really love how the story ended. The main character, Ellie, realized her worth. She realized that Prince Charming is not really Prince Charming. So I kind of hated the other guy here. So yeah, I enjoyed reading this one, and I know that I'll also be enjoying the other Mina V.S. Guerra novel that I'll be finishing this 2022. So thank you so much, Mina V.S. Guerra, for writing this amazing book. And you know, Mina has published a lot of amazing novels, romance novels, and I really recommend that you check her out. That's for fiction. And the last category for this vlog is poetry and literary. Okay, let me start with this collection, Paghilom, Mga Tula at Sanaysay by Kim Derla. This is a Taglish book also. I have here a bookmark and again some highlights because this is really inspiring. This book is really an inspiring one, and Kim signed it for me. This is basically a collection of poems and essays about healing, and I really love how inspiring the pieces are. It made me think. It's a good you know, book to read when you just wanna stop and reflect about life and love. If you read some comments online, you will really see how people resonated with this book. So thank you so much, Kim Derla, for writing this book. A lot of us were really inspired by this one. So yay! Keep on writing. And the next book in this category, of course, we're now diving into more poetry. This is Faulty Electric Wiring, Poems by Roel S. De Vera. This is one of the books that I bought from the Manila International Book Fair online last year, specifically from the virtual booth of Ateneo de Manila University Press. Alright. Here's the back, and I think this is the only book that I finished reading last year that I covered with plastic. I don't know why. I just felt like I wanted to cover it. And I love this book so much, and I was able to take note of a lot of poems that I liked from this collection. But if there's one poem that really stuck to me, it's this one. It's Gambaphobia. I really love it. 20. Alright. Maybe I'll read this poem in one of my poetry reading vlogs soon, but yeah, please watch out for that. This is one of my favorites because it really was able to describe and touch on creatively with the use of words how it is to be allergic to shrimp. Alright, it's amazing. So, but yeah, I also like other poems here. So, yay, poems! The next poetry collection that I finished reading last year was this one, 100 Love Poems, Philippine Love Poetry since 1905, edited by Hemini Obad and Alfred Yuson. This is published by the University of the Philippines Press, or UP Press. Just a trivia, this is like an impulse purchase some years ago. And, but I only finished reading everything last year. I bought this from a book event, and I was able to meet some of the poets here personally, and I had them sign the poems that they wrote. Okay, just like this. Sir Ramon Sunico, he signed it for me. Also, Mr. Jose Dalisay Jr. Who else? There's a poem here by Ruel Esdevera, who, yeah, he was the author of the poetry collection that I shared earlier. And yeah, I actually put some book tags on the poems that I like, especially this one. Right. If you follow me on social media, I posted a lot about this book on my Facebook page and Instagram. Yeah, if there's one book from this collection that I really love and that really stuck to me, is this one, Live Poem by Ana Bernaldo. I think ever since I started reading this book some years ago, this has been my favorite. Alright. Imagine I was able to read more than 100 poems last year. So kudos to me! And of course, it really helped me when I eventually finished the first draft of the second poetry collection that I finished by December 16, 2021. If you remember, I mentioned that in a previous vlog. There you go. Sir Ruel said, for Chris, right on. Some years ago, I was using the name Chris. But I decided to embrace my true nickname, which is Kring. So he said here, right on. And I did, sir. I did. And I was even able to read his book. Yay! Right. That's it for this collection. 100 Love Poems. Published by the UP Press. The next book that I finished reading last year, which contains poems, is this one, Into My Heart, a collection of love poems by Isis Clarice Huang. I was privileged to be part of the production of this book. And of course, Isis signed it for me. This is really nice because it's really artistic. And it's in full color also. The paper is nice. And yeah, she also sent me a letter. Thank you so much. And this is also published by Spark Books, by the Spark Project. And basically, this poetry collection is crowdfunded. And so I'd like to congratulate Isis for having published this book. And so there you go. The art is really nice. Alright, so amazing. So last but not the least, I also would like to mention a set of zines that I read last year, still under the poetry and literary category. And here they are: Ice Tita and What Could Have Been Water by Reggie Digia. The poems are really beautiful. And she also sent to me this card with an artwork and her message. And you know, I really appreciate writers who can also draw and make art. For those writers who are also artists, keep writing and keep making art. Yay! So this is Ice Tita, the first one, and I love the format of this zine. I love how witty and creative Reiji has written her poems. I really love the play of words and all that. So I also love this poem about, being 30 because I'm past 30 and I could relate to the things that she mentioned here. This one is What Could Have Been Water by Reiji Diggy, and again, I love the poems here. Aside from the details of, because this is a suite, so a collection of poems that are related to each other, and I enjoyed how she used the consistent elements of like water, drink, and also the portrayal of women and the views of women and society. So yeah, I really love this scene, and it's like, it's just short, but it's really beautiful and short and sweet, like iced tea. All right, iced tita. All right, okay. Thank you so much, Reiji, for these zines and for this art. Basically, that's it for this vlog. I hope that you also got something from this. Again, I will be placing all the links to where you can get these books. And again, please do remember the lesson that I shared for this vlog. In order for you to write more and write well, you also have to read more and read well. Okay, this has been Kring. Thank you so much for watching this video. I don't know how to end this now, but yeah. See you again on my next vlog, and I hope that you subscribe for more content, poetry, books, music, faith, and life. See you next time. Bye!